property file in Spring is not just there to provide flexibility of modification, it also there to make our Spring modules of the project on par ready to take input values from properties file, okay, as other as see, audio is okay from my side, check your side. As other modules based, what guys, as other technology based modules based code is reading data from what properties file. So recollect the yesterday scenario. Project is there, module 1 to module 5 are collecting JDBC properties from properties file. If module 6 to module 10 are collecting same information from Spring Bean configuration file, not going to work out. Why? Whenever password is changed, whenever database is changed, okay, for module 1 to module 5, I have to modify properties file. For module 6 to module 10, I have to modify Spring Bean configuration file. So if I can make Spring Bean, if I can make Spring modules also gathering same information from what? Properties file through Spring Bean configuration file. So whenever database is changed, whenever password of the database is changed, or other details of database is changed, for module 1 to module 10, we need to work with what? Same properties file. We need to touch what? Same properties file. So then we have seen how to make our layered application reading data from what? Properties file. And so many things we did it, guys. Right. Please switch off your cameras, otherwise I will remove you. Okay, boss. Now let's get into today's discussion. Let's get into today's discussion. Sir, if there are two properties file, how should I configure? If there are more than two properties file, how should I configure? Let's take the same project. Let us take the same project. JDBC.properties is there. JDBC.properties is there. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Now listen carefully. We have JDBC properties, guys. Now I'm taking one more thing. Others file JDBC one dot properties. JDBC one dot properties. Copy this. Say paste. JDBC one dot properties. Yes, one is JDBC dot properties, other one is JDBC one dot properties. Nice, boss. Okay, now come to this. Now come to this, not this one. Yes, this is our one, not this one also. Array, yesterday we configured all this stuff, right? Application context.xml, guys. Yes. Here we can write multiple properties file as a comma separated list of values, boss. As a comma separated list of values. Com slash nt slash commons slash JDBC one dot properties. JDBC one dot properties. Now have a look. Have a look. Real time DI test. Run as Java application. Customer name Lokesh, Hyderabad, principal amount 40,000, customer rate of interest 2, time 12. Time 12. What's the problem? Invalid username or password. That's fine. Again, yesterday I changed this one back to manager, guys. Don't worry. I changed this one back to manager. Right. Fine. Karan, Hyderabad, principal amount 40,000, rate of interest 2, time, yes. See this, guys? It is happily talking to what database software by collecting values from more than one properties file. Yeah, now listen. There is no need of taking 2 times context colon property placeholder, boss. No, there's no need. You can in one only we can mention multiple properties file. It's possible. Okay, now just a minute. One more thing. Sir, if both are having same keys and different values. Now listen. If both are having same keys and different value, the second one is dominating the first one or not. Check it out. Here DB password tiger, here DB password manager. But it is taking manager or tiger. It is taking manager or tiger. I hope you noticed that. Actually, these two things are not required here. But if you take also what it is taking was manager, it is taking. It is taking manager. Are you listening my statement? It is giving priority to what manager. Did you notice it or not? Okay. So now what is the statement I should give? To configure more than one properties file. To configure more than one properties file. Yes, JDBC dot properties. JDBC dot properties. JDBC one dot properties. JDBC one dot. Next. In application context dot XML. if multiple property files are having same keys with different values, then the lastly configured properties file info will override, okay, will override other properties file, other properties file info who are having same keys, This is what we discussed or not? Yes, boss. Now listen carefully, boss. Listen. I'm going to next level. Now, first of all, you observe one thing. There is something called, if it is application context container, we can even close it, boss. We have one more advantage of close container, ctx.close. There is no possibility of closing bean factory container, stopping bean factory container. But if it is application context container, we have a ability to close the container. Did you notice that? We have a ability to close the container. We have a ability to refresh the container. That means if any changes are done in XML file, we can ask to take it back again. Next, we can stop the container. Come on. So we cannot call all these methods in bean factory object, boss. There is no possibility of doing all these things in bean factory. So at the end, we have a ability to call it. Come on. Fine. See, it's like if you don't close, what happens at the end of the main method, it will be stopped abnormally. If you close it, proper wind up will be there. So there's no big advantage of it. It's all about smooth termination of container. That's it. It is all about smooth termination of container. That's it, boss. Don't think much on it. So we have ability to stop the container explicitly, to close the container explicitly. Okay. So, but that is not my primary constraint. Okay. See this? Sysout. What is this? System.get properties. Sysout system.get properties. Okay, now I'm just giving some information. Raja, Hyderabad, principal amount some 40,000, rate some 12. Yeah, see guys, when I go for system.get properties, I got so many predefined system properties related to Java, related to current operating system. See this user dot name Naresh IT, current login, OS dot version 10.0, operating system version. What is Java dot runtime dot name? Java TMSC enrollment environment. Java dot VM dot name, virtual machine name, Java hotspot, 64-bit server VM something. So we are getting so many properties. These are called system properties. These are not given by me. These are given by Java environment. So system.get property. One predefined method is there, guys. All the methods in system class are static methods. All the variables in system class are what? Static properties. So that's why you never see people creating object for system class. All the methods will be called directly on the class name. So this is one predefined method. Okay, now listen. Using this properties file configuration, boss, not only we can inject values to bean properties by collecting them from what? Properties file. We can also inject values to bean properties. Come on. from system properties also. Even from system properties also, this injection is possible. Are you sure, sir? Yes. Okay, once again, just a minute, you observe. I'm going to DAO class. I'm going to DAO class. Right now, Oracle one is be active one. Here I'm taking some other properties, guys. Only for knowledge sake. Only for knowledge sake. OS name, username. I'm taking another two properties. Okay, both are what type? String type. Okay, these are optional to inject, boss. Since I feel these are optional to inject, that's why I'm preferring to go for what? Window Alt plus Shift plus yes R. Alt plus Shift plus yes R. OS name, username. Two setter methods I'm planning to take. Two setter methods. Two setter methods I am going to take. Setter methods for setter injection. Setter methods for setter injection. Now go to this one, Oracle DAO only. So there, order is in property name is equal to OS name. Value is equal to dollar flower bracket, open closing. See what is the system property key, guys? OS dot version. So OS dot version. OS dot version. Property name, OS name. I think I have taken OS name only now. Yes, OS name. Save it. Right, boss. Property name, OS name. What's the problem? Setter method is not there. Huh? Customer DAO IMPL. Customer DAO IMPL. Acha. Set is removed. Set OS name. Set OS name, guys. Set OS name, boss. Property name, OS name. Just to close it. Now save it. What's that? Oh, I got it. I got the mistake. What I did. Oh, set to OS name. String OS name. Yeah, proper setter method is required here. You know that. Next one. Property name, username. Property name, username. I think total method I have to change little bit. This dot OS name is equal to OS name. Let it be. And return type should be void. Yeah, got it. Return type should be void. That's done. Property name, OS name. Next one is what? Username. Array, this is my choice. Value is equal to. Tell me. Tell me. What is the username? User dot name is the key. In the system properties list, user dot name is the key. User dot name is the key. Dollar user dot name is the key. User dot name is the key. Super, boss. Dollar user dot name is the key. Are you listening my statement, boss? Super. But how to feel they came? How to feel they came? Somewhere I have to display now, boss. If I display, then I can feel they came. So intentionally, I just for reference sake, if you want, you can use these injected ones. If you are interested, you can use these injected ones in what? Business methods also. Right. OS name, user name, both I am displaying, boss. So now you try to run the application. Internals also I will teach, don't worry. Customer name, Karan, Hyderabad. Principal amount, 40,000. Rate of interest to time 12. See these guys? 10.0 OS version, Naresh IT. So these are collected from properties file or system properties. These are collected from properties file or system properties. Please speak out, guys. These are collected from what? These are collected from system properties. I hope you noticed it. I hope everyone observed that one. Yes, boss. Okay. So now, 1 minute. Let me add one more thing. I'm taking one more variable called private string path data. Okay. Some more thing. So here, alt plus shift plus R, alt plus shift plus R, alt plus shift plus dot, select setters. No, I don't need setter for everything, boss. Let me deselect that. Only set path data I need, boss. Only set path data I need. See, for everything, nothing is selected. Yes. Okay, set path data has come. Okay, that's cool. So now, here I will try to display space path data. Space path data. Okay, boss. Now you go to application context.xml, my dear. Property name, path data, value is equal to dollar path. Path environment variable is there now, boss. Not only from properties file, not only from system properties. Are you understanding my statement? Not only for properties file, not only from environment, what is that, system properties. Okay, it can even collect the values and inject the values from environment variables. Path, class path, Java home, you might have studied na. So from those things also it can gather and inject the values, boss. It can gather and inject the values. Okay. For some time, I think all these inputs are required in order to complete this one. Karan, Hyderabad, principal amount, rate of interest, time 12 months. Okay. It is not recognizing, could not resolve placeholder path. Just a minute. I think I have to give in lowercase. Let me try. In lowercase, guys. Nowadays it is not taking actually in annotations I found it's working, boss. In XML it is not recognizing that one properly, it seems. I have given uppercase one, lowercase one, it is not taking. But in annotation environment I found it is taking. Path, dollar path. No, key is right only. not system.path, it is just path. 1 minute. No, in annotation environment, it is taking happily. In XML, it is giving problem. Lowercase, uppercase. Dollar path. What else we can give? Let me try one more key. Path. Let me try mixed case once. Let me try mixed case once, boss. Name Karan, address Hyderabad, principal amount 30,000 to 12. Yes, yes. Mixed case it is taking, boss. It is taking mixed case. Observe. See, whatever values we have added to path environment variable with respect to Eclipse, they are happily coming. Check it out. With respect to Eclipse, whatever values are there in the path environment variable, they are coming or not. They are coming or not. Come on. Yes. So, what is the point I should give? Avinash Mahabatra in XML file, who said I am not giving properties file, Ra Babu? Attend classes from the beginning. Attend the classes from the beginning. Don't come in the middle of the class. Right. See this context colon property placeholder. Abhinash, be active in the classroom. Yes. Thank you, Shankar Dubey. What you have seen is just 5%. More wonders we are going to see. Come on. But JDBC one you have not specified in these details. Avinash, I'll murder you, Ra. You know, cold-blooded murder. What is this JDBC one? Either get up from the sleep completely or sleep completely. Don't be in the middle, Ra, worst fellow. Early morning, why are irritating me and other students of the batch? JDBC one is there, JDBC is there. I think you joined very late to the class. Okay, fine. Okay, now let us come to an understanding, boss. If I feel that question came because of your late joining, now onwards I am going to ignore that question. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Is that clear? Because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste others' flow. Dirty fellows. We want subject come on time. Okay. Yeah, sir, why we are going for multiple property? We are happy with a single property file now. So generally there is a rule, guys. There is a rule. Don't place more than 20 properties in one properties file. Don't place more than 20 keys, 20 messages in one property file for modularity sake, whatever it is. So at that time, we will be going for multiple properties file to satisfy that standard. No other reason. No other reason. Purely today I'm doing for experiment's sake. No other reason, boss. Okay, fine. Note. It is good practice. It is good practice to place, okay, max of 20 messages, okay, in each properties file. Next one. Yes. One of your batchmate has cleared first round of interview only with this knowledge of Spring Basics. So now at least you realize what is the importance of Spring Basics in your learning. Oh, okay. Context colon property placeholder. Come on. Context colon property placeholder tag. Not only get the values from okay properties file, it can also get the values from system properties comma environment variables, okay, comma environment variables, right? Okay. To read system properties, and environment variable values. I'm just trying to give example code, guys. In any DAO class, or in fact, in any Spring Bean class, you can do this work in any Spring Bean class. Super, guys. Okay, I'm going to take these three things. Copy, boss. In any Spring Bean class. Okay, boss. Next, in application context.xml. An XML, application context.xml. Yes, I'm taking one DAO class configuration, boss. There I'm pasting it. All right, boss. Now tell me here. OS name. Tell me here. OS name. OS.version, user.name, and dollar path. What is this dollar path? Okay, guys. No, this context property placeholder only will take care of all these things. That's the beauty. Property placeholder is not just there to read the values from properties file. It is even capable of what? Reading values from system properties and what? Environment variables. Okay, now tell me, guys, these two are fixed system properties. People are joining lately and misunderstanding statement. Be on time. Should I lock the meeting by 7:05? Shall we come to one deal? Everyone, please respond in the chat box. Should I lock the meeting by 7:05? Because this is not going to work out, guys. I will join by 7:30 and I will ask her some random questions. Okay, tomorrow onwards, I am going to log the meeting by 7:05, boss. I cannot entertain this kind of learning. Fixed system. Yeah, fixed system properties. Yeah, 7:05, because anyhow 5 to 10 minutes every day I'm revising the subject. If you lose the subject of revision, not a issue. Okay, next one. Fixed environment variable name. Environment variable name. So those are having connection problem. I'm giving 2 days time. Please set out proper connection. Try to take proper internet data, proper net connection. Monday onwards, I will log the meeting by 7:05. I cannot entertain this kind of learning, boss. Okay. Fixed system properties and fixed environment variable name. Arrange the backup. Stop telling the stories. Power problem, X problem, Y problem, Z problem. Stop telling all the stories. I am going to log the meeting by 7:05. What is this? Every day. Okay, boss. Now, is that clear? OS name, username, path data. Now listen. How does it works? That's a very, very interesting, boss. How does internals are working? So everyone, please focus, guys. Number one. IOC container creation. As usually, internal flow I am talking, boss. Internal flow. IOC container creation. Container creation of type. Okay, of type application context. B. In-memory metadata. In-memory metadata creation of Spring Bean configuration file. Having placeholders. Having placeholders. First in-memory metadata will be created having placeholders. $. Super. In-memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file having placeholders. These placeholders will be there as it is, Babu, initially. Initially, when in-memory metadata is created, these placeholders will be there as it is. That is very, very interesting thing, boss. Really, sir? Yes. Next one. Environment. Actually, one Spring supplied object is there, boss. Environment. Environment object. Environment object creation. Having environment object creation having values. Acha, 1 minute. Before that, yes, this one. Context colon property placeholder. Property placeholder. Tag related. Property placeholder. Configurer. This is one internal class, guys. Related property placeholder configurer class object creation. Class object creation. By locating the specified properties file. the specified properties files. Yes, boss. This tag internally activates this class configurer class object creation by locating the specified properties files. Properties files. Are you listening my statement? This is another thing that will happen, boss. This is before pre-instantiation, this will happen. Before pre-instantiation, this will happen. Please concentrate in it. Okay, environment object creation. Value, okay. Environment object creation by IOC container. We don't create this object. By IOC container having values gathered from properties file. Having values gathered from properties files, system properties, and environment variables. Having values gathered. This is a container created object, boss. Environment object is container created object. Yes, okay. See this? Here is my JDBC 1 dot properties. Here is my JDBC dot properties. Here is my JDBC properties. Okay, here is my system properties. System properties. Here are my environment variables. Here are my environment variables. Here some keys are there. Okay, I'm just taking 1-2 keys, boss. Nothing. db.user is equal to system. Here I am taking db.password is equal to manager. Here so many things are there. os dot name. os dot name Windows is there. os dot version. os dot version 10.0 is there. Here so many things are there, boss. Here so many things are there. Environment variables. Environment variables. First environment variable. Environment variable. What is environment variable? Here path is equal to something. Okay. Java home is equal to something. Right. Java home is equal to something. Are you listening my statement, guys? I'm requesting everyone, whenever you get a doubt, please hold it for 5 to 10 minutes in your brain before putting into the chat box. After 5 to 10 minutes also, if I am not discussing subject in the angle you want, then please raise the question. Here I am teaching something and parallelly you are thinking something and filling messages with the chat box. Please guys, please. Every day I am requesting this. Before you write question in the chat box, please give 5 to 10 minutes time. I believe most of your queries will be discussed in next 5 to 10 minutes discussion. Please show some patience. Please show some dignity while attending online classes. Just assume my situation, guys. I am teaching some one topic in the flow, and 350 members have written 350 questions without listening current topic. I should focus on your questions. I should focus on the current topic. I'm requesting everyone. Right. Environment. Environment object. Because I believe Most of your queries will be cleared in next 5 to 10 minutes discussion. Just to hold them for 5 to 10 minutes. I am happy. Okay, now listen. Automatically, all the keys values will come and store here. System db.password manager. Next, os.name Windows. os.version 10.0. Path is equal to, like this, all the comes will come and store, boss. Here also, not only os.name, many things will come and store. Here also, if many keys and are, all this will come and store here automatically. Happily, they will come and store into automatically. This is the one beautiful work that will happen, boss. So that's why credit should be given to whom? Environment object, boss. Definitely this credit should be given to environment object. This is built-in object in every IOC container. Built-in object in IOC container. Built-in object in IOC container. IOC container. Yes, boss. D. Okay, guys. Next one, D. D. Okay, now listen. All the values from property file system properties now got stored into environment object now, boss. Environment object now, boss. Now listen. Context colon property placeholder. Placeholder tag related. What, guys? Tag related. Property placeholder configurer. Configurer class object. Tag related property placeholder configurer class object. Configurer class object. Are you listening my statement, guys? Property placeholder configurer class object will replace will replace placeholders with will replace placeholders with what do you mean by placeholders, guys? These values dollar something is there na, with real values collected from the come on, guys, real values collected from the environment object. Yes. Now for example, you take this one, boss. Okay, I'll just give only one, otherwise I'll take entire whole story. No, one is enough for me. For example, you take this one. When in-memory metadata is created, placeholder will be as it is, boss. But later, this placeholder will be replaced with what? os.name. What is os.name, boss? Windows. What is os.name? Windows. Like this everywhere. I'm just giving only one thing for example, boss. Will be replaced with what? Windows. Real value collected from environment object. Super. Okay, now tell me in the in-memory metadata, placeholders are there, real values collected from what? Environment object will be there. Are you understanding my statement, boss? OS name. Acha, 1 minute. I think we have not taken correct key. This one we have taken, na? Fine, whatever it is. This one. Whatever it is, boss. That is not a big issue now. So right now, what is that? 10.0. Because here I have written os.version 10.0. Real values collected from this. Not only this, it will happen for everything. Everything. I'm just giving like this and etc. I am giving. Next, D. E. Pre-instantiation of singleton scope beans takes place. In that process, injections also takes place, and singleton scope Spring Bean class objects will be kept in the internal cache of IOC container. This is regular story, boss. This is regular story. So now tell me, guys, by that time it is performing pre-instantiation of singleton scope Spring Beans and injection. All placeholders are replaced with real values collected from environment object, because environment object is filled up with what? My dear guys? Okay, values collected from properties file, values collected from what? System properties, values collected from environment variables. I think you thoroughly enjoyed this flow, boss. Crystal clear clarity has come now. Now you are understanding how internals are happening. Entry or ask one question. When in-memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file is created, tell me placeholders will be there or will not be there. Initially will be there. Later they will be replaced with what? Values collected from various sources through environment object. Initially will be there. Later they will be replaced. That replacement is happening because of which tag? That is happening because of context : placeholder tag. That tag is internally using which class services to do that work, to perform that work. Property placeholder configurer is the class that is doing entire magic, boss. Understanding my statement, boss? Come on. In property file, line number 31, I am not able to understand. Line number 31, where is 31, boss? 31. Ashish, yes. I'm deciding DAO dynamically. I think you missed yesterday's class. First attend classes regularly. I'm deciding DAO dynamically. How? See, guys, in JDBC.properties or one.properties, if I want to talk to Oracle, I will say Oracle cust DAO. If I want to talk to MySQL, I will write what? MySQL cust DAO. Okay. Attend classes regularly, boss. Fine. Now listen. Environment object is going to have all the property file info, boss. Now let me give the feeling. Yes, there is environment object inside the IOC container. How can I give that feel, boss? 1 minute. There is environment object inside that. Just a minute. Sys out. Okay. Environment. Take spring environment. env is equal to ctx dot get environment. Environment ctx is equal to ctx dot get environment. Sys out environment dot to string. Let's see what will come. Environment dot to string, boss. Let's see what will come. Customer name Karan, address, principal amount 40,000. Okay, fine. Right now that is not so important, guys. See, guys, when I'm trying to print environment object, it is giving so all the details na. It is holding system properties. Did you notice it? It is holding system properties. Did you notice that, boss? Environment object is there or not there? See, path environment variable values are there. Class version, all this stuff is there or not there? Environment dot. If you want, you can get specific key value also, my dears. Specific key value also we can get it. It's not like that. Specific key values. Okay, anyhow, discussion has come. Let me find out the real class name of that. System.out.println env.get class. No, you don't want to print all the things. You want to print specific property value. Environment get required property of. I think we have fixed one. os.name. os.name. Now check it out. Karan, Hyderabad, principal amount 40,000. Rate of interest 2. Okay, enter time. This one. Enter time. See this? Standard environment is the object. Windows 10 we are getting. Did you notice that, boss? Standard environment and Windows 10 we are getting. So this is not required here. Let it be. Not a issue. So if you want to know what is the implementation class, just observe F3. It's an interface. If you want to know implementation class, open implementation. Yes, we are having what? Standard environment. Standard environment. What is the hierarchy? Standard environment is extending from abstract environment. Abstract environment is extending from implementing configurable environment interface. That is extending from environment interface. This is the hierarchy, boss. This is the basic hierarchy. Let me give the hierarchy to you people. Sir, why are you giving this one? I am giving this one to prove that in IOC container there is an environment object. Environment object. Okay, guys. You just press F3, you will get the source code. Environment object is the implementation. Environment object in IOC container is the implementation class object of what is that? org.sf.core.env.environment interface. Environment interface. Okay, now boss. Right. Next. F3 to see the source code. To see the source code. Okay. F4 to know methods and properties of the class. Methods and properties of the class. Properties of the class. That's fine, guys. Okay. Now listen. If I give clash among all these things, what happens? This is the one more question people are asking me. Okay. If you want to know implementation class name, control mouse. Control mouse, open implementation. You will get the hierarchy. F4 if you press, you will get the properties and methods of what? All the details of that class. Type hierarchy will come. If you want to know only implementation, hold the control key, you will get option open implementation. Come on. I think I'm using almost every day these features. So now listen, let me create a small class situation, boss. Let me create a small class situation. In JDBC one dot properties, I have os dot name, os dot name. Okay, I'm just trying to give something win in JDBC dot. Come on. I'll try to give win here. And in system properties also we are having os dot name. Are you listening my statement? In system properties also we are having os dot name. Go to DAO class. Okay, I think here we'll take OS version only first. OS version. This is OS version. Anyhow, we are working with OS version there. Here also we will go for OS version. That's cool. Next, go to this OS name. I want to take another setter method. I want to take another setter method. What is that? OS name. OS name. OS name, guys. OS name. Next. Application context.xml. What .xml, guys? Application.xml. This is OS version, guys. That's cool. So now observe very carefully. OS name is there in the properties file, is there in a system property. Okay, OS name is there in the properties file, is there in the system property. Come to DAO class, my dear. Here, OS version I am printing. Lastly, I am also printing. Let me put some ... to identify this one easily. OS dot name. I'm also printing OS name. OS version, username, path data, OS name. Now, listen carefully, boss. Now, listen carefully, boss. Yes, the working people are now realizing how things are happening. Earlier, they used them. Now, they are confirming how they are working. So that's why these are very important from interview point of view, guys. Rate of interest to time in what? 10 months. Now listen, 10.0, but lastly what has come, that is important for me. Windows 10 has come. What has come? Windows 10. That means system properties are overriding what, guys? System properties are overriding. Properties file properties are not. Properties file properties are not. If there is a clash among the keys of properties file, system properties, and path environment variable. So first priority to what? Path environment variable. Next priority to system properties, and last priority to properties file information. Local properties file information. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. Okay. If there is a clash among the what is that? Properties files. Properties files. Properties files keys and system properties and environment variable names. Environment variable names. Okay. They will be stored. 1 minute. Their values will be stored. Their values will be stored in the environment object. In the environment object having the following priority. Having the following priority order. So first priority order for what? Environment variable values. Environment variable values. Second priority was system properties. Third property is what? Properties file values. Properties file values. This is the order they follow, boss. If you want, you can sit and test it. Not a issue. Not at all a issue. And done, boss. So with this, our discussion on property file is over, boss. Actually, we started with the properties file. Now that has led to environment object. In that process, we understood internals and other things. I think everyone got perfect knowledge on it. General. Okay. Mr. Vinay Kumar, if you want to talk with the two databases, you should take two data sources. Why are you not concentrating on that first point? Why are you running after only YML and properties file? Keep your half knowledge aside and please hand over your brain to me. Why are you worried about only properties file? Why are you worried? Why are you not worried about taking? Not worried about taking two data sources? Are you listening? People are thinking that. People are thinking that if I just take property file, it will connect to database. Don't think like that. Property file is there just to provide inputs. If connectivity is happening with it because of data sources. If you want to see your DAO talking to two database software, please think about injecting two data sources first. When injecting two data sources, you have a freedom to take what? Two database related to JDBC properties. Two database related to JDBC properties. Think in that angle. My humble request to everyone who is learning Spring with me, keep your half knowledge aside. Try to hand over your empty brain of Spring to me. Otherwise, I will say something, you will assume something, and some other thing will come out into your brain. And it will become cocktail of your learning and my learning. And at the end, you will be not getting clarity everywhere. If possible, you hand over yourself to me saying that I don't know anything in Spring. It would be good for me, it would be good for you, it would be good for Spring learning also. Right. Because I'm seeing so many clashes. Fine, boss. Shall we get into the discussion, boss? Yes. What is the difference between bean factory container and application context container? What is very popular interview question, boss? Very, very important. I don't think, actually, I launched this discussion only for this question. Fine, boss. Okay, boss. Now tell me here. I will try to present. Okay, now we'll go for one is bean factory container. Other one is application context container. Bean factory container, application context container. Yes, sir, we didn't discuss all features of application. Some feature you will get in coming classes. As part of other discussions, you will get it. Something you learn in Spring MVC, something you learn in Spring JDBC, something you learn in different areas. So that's why. So we whatever basic two features we need in future for next discussion, we got it. So now let's see the differences. Okay. Yeah, some differences I will write which we have still not seen practicals. Don't worry, just remember in future we are going to see them practically. So bean factory boss. No support for pre-instantiation of singletons beans. Pre-instantiation of singleton scope bean. Yes. Supports, not supports, performs pre-instantiation of. My favorite question is why they have given pre-instantiation only for singleton scope beans. I think answer is there with you. If I take intro, I will definitely ask that question. Pre-instantiation of singleton scope beans. Next one. No ability, no possibility to stop or close container. To stop or close container. Yes. Okay, boss. Yes. We can stop or close. What is this? Application context container. What guys? Application context container. Next one. No direct support. No direct support to work with properties files by recognizing placeholders. By recognizing placeholders. Okay. Supports 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 that supports the same feature directly. That means what in Bean Factory also we can do, but extra configurations we have to support. No support for IIT internationalization. Nationalization. In the word internationalization, 20 letters are there. In shortcut, we call it as I18N. Internationalization. Okay. Gives default support. E gives what? Default support. E. Tell me what is the next story, boss? Okay. Does not support event handling and event publication. Event publication. Okay. Event handling and event publication, boss. Yes, definitely supports, boss. All these are additional features. Supports. Next, F. No support for automatic. Acha, we will say like this. Bean factory post processor and bean post processor. Yes, we'll study all these things. Bean post processor must be registered explicitly. Must be registered explicitly with IOC container. Yes. Automatic registration of come on, bean post processors and bean factory post processors. Bean post processors and bean factory post processors. Okay, guys. Pre-instantiation means eager instantiation. Come on. Does not support pre-instantiation means indirectly lazy instantiation. Ashish, pre means what? Eager only, na? Should I highlight that one separately? Okay. Hmm. Next one. Cannot be used in. Cannot be used in annotation driven configurations. 100% code driven configurations and in Spring Boot. Okay, Spring Boot approaches of application development. Application development. Spring Boot approaches of application development can be used in all four approaches of. Yes, I have to. I'll make it cannot. Can be used in all four approaches of. I think you know all four approaches of application development. Approaches of Spring application development. What are those guys? XML driven configurations. Next, annotation driven configurations. Next, 100% code driven configurations. Yes, next one. Spring Boot. Spring Boot mode application development. Spring Boot mode application development. Here, let me add cannot. Let me add cannot. I hope you got the clarity, boss. Come on. Yes, in bin factory, cannot. I think you can give left and right to interviewer if interviewer raises this question, boss. So indirectly, bin factory supports lazy instantiation. Application context supports both lazy instantiation and eager instantiation. For other than singleton scope beans, lazy instantiation. For singleton scope beans, it supports eager instantiation. Is that clear, guys? Right. So tell me what is mostly used container in real time? Application context container. Then why did we learn some basics about bin factory container? Because we want to see these differences table nicely. So now we got some clarity about bin factory and application context container. Okay, guys. Where should we use? Where should we use bin factory container? And where should we use Where should we use application context container? Where should we use bin factory container? Where should we use application context container? Okay, boss. Okay. Where should we use bin factory container? Where should we use application context container? Please, boss. These two things we have seen. This thing also we have seen. These last 4 points practicals. Okay, will come in future. So now I have told this one 3 times, 4 times. Still people are asking, where is the example of internationalization? Will come in future. In different modules, we are going to get those concepts. Right. Okay. Tell me, guys. We must have strong reason for not using application context container in our projects. We must have strong reason for not using application context container in our project. That means application context container is most recommended industry standard IOC container. That's fine, boss. That's really fine. But still, why they have given bin factory container? I will explain this. Why they have given bin factory container? What is need of it? Okay, now listen carefully. We must have strong reason, acha, for not using application context container in our projects. That means application context container, most recommended industry standard IOC container. Abhishek Singh, I think you have to go join English classes once. We must have strong reason for not using. I didn't write, I have written in a correct meaning only. Any wrong meaning came, boss? Right. Okay, now listen. If we are using Spring in mobile applications, sir, for not using a pin, if you are avoiding application, we must have strong reason for not using application context. That means by default your mind should think about using application context container. It's something like this, guys. You want to purchase a fan, ceiling fan. First you will purchase Comtran only because that's a very standard brand. You are not purchasing Comtran brand means there should be a reason of not purchasing. Color not liked, budget not supported, whatever it is. Come on, guys. Okay, leave it. If you are using Spring in mobile application development, mobile application, embedded system applications, which are memory sensitive, memory or resource sensitive applications where few extra kilobytes of memory utilization also matters, then go for bin factory container. Okay, bean factory container, because bean factory container takes bit less memory, not too much, but bit less memory compared to application context container. Compared to application context container. Are you listening my statement, guys? If at all you are using Spring in mobile applications, embedded system application, where everything is memory sensitive, boss. Everything is resource sensitive. 1-2 kilobytes also matter sometimes. That time you want to reduce the memory utilization. No option, think about bean factory container. Otherwise, by default, your brain should think about using application context container. 99% of Spring projects are enterprise application. Enterprise application means large scale, big systems, big memories, big RAM sizes. That's why we never think about bean factory container in 99% projects. 1% projects. Sometimes Spring may come into picture in embedded system programming. Spring may come into picture in IoT. Spring may come into picture in mobile application. That time, think about bean factory. If at all memory issue is there, there also no memory issue. Forget about. There also start working with what? Application context container. I think you got a convincing reason, boss. So overall, you should say I never used bean factory container. I always used application context container. In my lifetime, in my experience, I never worked with bean factory container, boss. Because Spring means enterprise application, Spring means large scale application. So memory issues will not be there. We'll be having big memory sizes. That's why we never think about dealing with what? Bean factory container in any situation. So before I wind up today's class, I just want to give one more concept, boss, which is a very minor. Listen carefully. Come to this place. In the property name attribute, tomorrow no regular class, only debugging class is there at 11 o'clock. Debugging class is there at 11 o'clock. Next class will be on Monday. Okay, now listen. You are giving name attribute in the property tag, name attribute in the constructor-arg tag. Are you listening my statement, guys? So far we thought that they are the property names, but technically speaking, these are not property names. These are the XXX word in setter methods. These are the parameter names of the constructor. Are you sure, sir? Yes. Listen carefully. I'll make you to realize that one. See, boss, my OS version property is property name set. XXX word is set to version 1. Set to version 1. In the constructor injection, parameter name is DS1. Parameter will be there in DS1. Parameter name is DS1. But I'm running the application. Without touching anything here, I am running. Red mark has come, check it out. It's not like that OS version is not there. Is there. But what you have to pass here is what? What you have to pass here is what? Not the property name. You have to pass a XXX word of set XXX method. What you have to pass is not the property name, param name. So still I am running blindly as a stubborn person. Current address, principal amount 5,000, rate of interest 10 months. See, you will get red mark. You will get red mark. Data source. Did you specify correct bean references as arguments? Did you specify correct bean references as argument? So now you try to mention original things. Version 1, DS1. Now you observe. Red mark gone. Run the application. Current address, principal amount 40,000. Rate of interest 2, time 12. Now everything is taken perfectly or not? Everything is taken perfectly or not? I want reply, boss. I want reply, boss. Come on. Note. Okay. In the name attribute, of property tag and constructor hyphen arg tag. Okay. Constructor hyphen arg tag. Okay. What we are passing are not property names, been property names. Are not been property names. They are triple X word of set triple X method in case of method, in case of property tag, and okay, constructor param name in case of constructor hyphen arg tag. Constructor hyphen arg tags. I think word singular only you are using now. Okay. I think you got more knowledge, boss. Day to day, your confidence is increasing or not? Are you enjoying learning? Suresh Kumar, in annotation driven configuration, XML plus annotations will be there. In 100% code driven configuration, tomorrow debugging separate ID is there. If you want to attend tomorrow's class of debugging, first watch first class of debugging. Please watch first class of debugging. Right. Musaddiq, ask the question. Don't tell the what is the Anwar. Tomorrow class will be in the YouTube live. I don't think so. Tomorrow class of debugging at 11 o'clock. You should watch first class in order to attend second class. Okay. Anil, May 5th onwards, you will be having Spring Boot classes. Saukunda Gauri, I have kept HTTP unit is there. HTTP unit is there. Using that, you can do unit testing. Abhishek Maurya, you can collect meeting ID from the group. A poster is there. From the poster, you can gather it. Rajesh Nagar, first watch first video, then come for second one. Okay, you want to get that link? 1 minute. I'll show how to get the link. But without watching first video, don't come for second one. It will be Greek Latin. Go to media, search for debugging poster. Search for debugging poster. Yes. Take the photograph of it. If you cannot spend the time, take the photograph of it. Sir, if target bean is singleton scope and dependent bean is prototype scope, yes, dependent bean also participate in pre-instantiation. Okay. Yeah, I'll consider your request of EST timings. Yes, May 5th onwards, 2 batches, boss. In your batch, Spring Boot will start. May 5th onwards, 9 o'clock, Hibernate batch will start. Fee for Hibernate class, I think 3,000, around 3,000, 3,500. React batch still not started. Once started, I will inform. Okay, once started, I will inform. Deepak Patil, I don't know whether it will be uploaded or not, but better to attend live class. Okay. Tomorrow, no regular classes, only 11 o'clock debugging common topic is there. Which is best, sir? I personally prefer React only. Pavitra, you have to become member of the group in order to get the content. You have to become member of the new servlet batch. 4 o'clock JDBC started after servlet only. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a nice time. Yeah. Yes. If you want to show 2 years, 3 years gap as experience, sometime 1 year gap as experience, Hibernate is required. If you want to enjoy Spring Data GPA perfectly for 100%, you should have a strong Hibernate knowledge. Strong Hibernate knowledge. Hurry sample resumes are there in the group. You can search and download. Okay. Soundarya, what I discussed, properties externalization, that is today's class only. In microservices, again, we will get similar concept. Config properties externalization, you will get again in microservices. Suresh, you need not to tell what to taught in which order I should teach. Please, please. Order you leave it to me. Remaining things I will take care. Fine. You have a Murli sir, we have Vijay Kumar sir. Any faculty you can choose. Musaddiq, if you want to enjoy Spring Data JPA, we should have a strong knowledge of Hibernate. Vivek Kumar, already session is conducted. Resume preparation, it is there in the YouTube. Resume preparation by Natras or search it. Spring Boot does not need knowledge of Angular or React. If you want to become full stack developer, then you have to have Angular or React. Okay, guys. Spring Boot, see boss. 5th onwards, Spring Boot will start. Spring Basics will be ended. Okay, it will be this one. Abhinash, you can upgrade on your own if you cannot attend classes. Spring Boot starts May 5th, 7 a.m. For interview purpose, Hibernate is very important. Especially they'll ask so many questions on association mapping. Association mapping. Okay, guys. Rachna Paradesi, Spring Boot will continue in this batch. Spring Basics will be over. Spring Boot will be started. Hibernate duration, I need 60 to 70 sessions. Right. Pavitra, Apache Kafka will be discussed as part of your microservices session, Spring Boot and microservices session. Yeah, before teaching microservices, I will be giving knowledge of Spring REST. Vamsi Krishna, search in the YouTube, boss. I never follow FAQ videos. Silpa, Hibernate session will be 1.5 hours. As usually, 1.5 hour session it is. Thank you, guys. Have a nice time. Practice. Because day-to-day subject depthness is increasing. If you don't practice, it is not going to work out. QCOM BTD, go to Naresh IT YouTube channel, type debugging by Natraz. If you miss any video of mine, if you want any video of mine, topic name by Natraz, you will get the video. Thank you guys. Have a nice time. But don't come for tomorrow's session of debugging without attending first session. Right. Thank you guys. Have a nice time.